Okay, so this is one of apparently our viewers' favorite types of videos we're doing today. We are going to visit with Andrew, a British expat living here in Brasov, Romania, and he's going to share his quality of life and his cost of living with us. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to live in Brasov, Romania, and want to know the costs, stick around. So Brasov is the 7th largest city of Romania with a population of about 350,000 in the metro area. And so a lot of people like to come here and vacation because of vampires in Transylvania, Braun Castle. They're skiing here, but it's a good place to live. If you're new to our channel, Julie and I were traveling the world with our 2 dogs, trying to see what it's like to live in other countries, cities, locations, and we're trying to share our experiences and expenses with you. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like if you find the content useful. And we hope that you're going to join us on our journeys and our adventures. The building that Andrew and his family live in is a typical residential neighborhood in Brasov. This building was built in the communist era, and it's only a short distance to get to the old town of Brasov, Romania. So let's go ahead and step inside Andrew's home and take a look at where he lives. This 80 square meter apartment typically will rent for about $540 to $648, and it's pretty spacious. The living room was quite large. Here you can see there's this play area for their daughter. Nice little exercise area. And this used to be part of the balcony that was converted into part of the living area. And coming around the corner, you have a really spacious kitchen. It's got the Donny Osmond purple. And got the washer, dishwasher, stove and oven. This little area here opens up into a good-sized pantry. And this also used to be part of the balcony, which is now enclosed, and this is where the refrigerator is. Stepping on back out this way, there's 2 bedrooms. And over here we have the master, good sized wardrobe, and this all came furnished. So it's a furnished rental apartment, and they just purchased their new apartment not far from here, about 1 kilometer away. This is the other bedroom. Again, all furnished. And then here you go, a big bath area. There's also a smaller bath that has a shower and a commode as well. And let's go ahead and talk with Andrew. Andrew, thank you for letting Julie and I come into your house and disturb you a little bit today.
No problem. You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Andrew, you're a British citizen and you've got a beautiful Romanian wife and a daughter, but they're not able to be with us here today.
No, they're not with us today. The little one's in kindergarten. The wife's hiding somewhere, I think.
Ah, okay. So. And you also have a little YouTube channel you and your wife have been putting out there also, right?
We do, yeah. My wife has a YouTube channel where she uses me as the goat in the camera. So yeah.
Okay, so if you want to know Andrew better after we're done with this video, I'll have a link for his channel into the video description so that you guys can check it out, and the name of the channel is right there. So Andrew, you've been in Romania for how long?
6 years now. It's got to be 6 years. So it's a bit of a time.
What brought you here?
I just came over travelling actually. I came to Brasov first, and I came for a 2-week holiday backpacking, and I met Christina at the end of the 2 weeks and came back and visited, and 6 years later I'm married with a kid living here, so that's how it goes.
It all works out. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah, fairy tale without the castle, yeah.
Yes. So you've been kind enough to tell us a little bit about your expenses and what life is like for you here. You know, what does it cost to live here as a person living on the economy as an expat?
Well, it's pretty good to tell you the truth. I mean, I compare it to the UK. Money goes a bit further here with certain things. So rent is quite dear around the country for what I see for what you get. So this apartment we got quite a good deal on. Is we're paying 2,000 RON. Normally you'd be paying about 2,500 to 3,000 RON for this apartment. So you can get some nice places. The further out you go from this area, Onyx in Brasov, it does get cheaper. So, I mean, somewhere like this, the electricity would be 200 RON a month. Gas is between 100 RON in summer, and you can pay 900 RON in winter, so it can get pretty expensive, the gas, especially somewhere this big.
And this is 80 square meters.
Yeah, just over 80 square meters, so it's quite big for an apartment in Romania. So, because they class as a 3-room apartment, even though it's got 2 bedrooms and the lounge. This lounge is actually classed as a bedroom. So,
Okay.
I mean, from an American standpoint, it's a great price because this is not far from everything. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is a 10-minute walk to the old town.
Yeah, 10-minute walk to the old town. You're about 1 mile up the road and you're out of Brasov into other villages. There's other medieval castles and stuff like that. So we're in a good area, very good area. Nice views of the Tumba Mountain and that. So yes, for the money it's good where we are.
And do you have any idea what an apartment like this would cost here in this location in the town?
This location, something like this would probably 150,000 euros.
Okay, 150,000 euro.
Yeah, I'd call, and you'd still need to do some work on it. It wouldn't be like to your standard. You'd probably be replacing quite a lot.
Okay.
So they are quite dear compared to 1 mile up the road.
And 1 mile up the road, you bought a place that we unfortunately won't see on this video, but
that one is 100 odd square meters, so it's bigger. And we got that one for 122,000, and it's brand new.
That's a big difference.
So yes, it's a big difference. Just 1 mile up the same street. It's on the same street.
So 122,000 euro, 100 square meters, much bigger. If you're willing to walk an extra, kilometer and a half or a mile.
And the views are great as well. From up the road, you get the 360 degrees, so you get all the mountain range. Where here, you only get Tumba.
Oh,
Yeah.
how lovely.
So it just means that you got further to walk to get to Tumba. This one.
Well, walking's healthy for you unless it's like 20 below. And so weather-wise, here, do you enjoy the weather?
I love the weather in Brasov because it's very similar to the UK.
I was going to say it's not too different.
It's very similar. I mean, I lived in Bucharest for 5+ years, and summer is it's ridiculous. It's too hot. There's too many mosquitoes. You're literally melting. Winter is freezing because of the amount of concrete. Here, winter's quite harsh, but other than that, the rain is a bit chillier and it's good.
We just had snow 2 days ago too, I imagine it does get harsh.
A freak snowstorm that.
Yes. Yeah, here we are in April having snow. So you've got you and your wife. Do you guys go out very often? Go out to eat, and what's your experiences with eating out?
Eating out is cheap. It's very cheap. I mean, we do eat out if we have 2 options depending on how our daughter is. If our daughter was playing up, we'll stop off at one of the bakeries and we'll pick up a pizza or a bagel of some sorts. And you're talking, to feed all 3 of us, 30 RON tops for all 3 of us.
Wow.
So there's a couple of slices of pizzas, a few bagels. I'm not sure what they call them. I've been here 6 years. I don't know the name, but it's basically a bit of bread with some meat inside or cheese. So
that's a great price.
it's a really good price if you want to eat on the go. Restaurant wise, again, that's pretty cheap as well. If you go to the old centre, it's a little bit dearer, but not that much. So we normally go to a place called Mido during the week, me and my wife sometimes, and we'll have the special of the day, which is actually 25 RON for a 2-course meal. So you'll get a bowl of soup, and a big plate or something.
Oh, I
whatever
love
they
that.
are.
Okay.
We need to find that place.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
and it's pretty good. And they do really good pizzas for about 30 on the big pizza.
No.
So
Yeah, we'll be on the hunt then. That was Mido.
Mido, it's up on the main street, so you
Okay.
can't miss it. It's,
We'll be looking for that. We'll Google it.
so I mean, it is really cheap to eat out. So
As a family, what would you say that you would spend a month on eating out, entertainment here in Brasov?
I'd say 400 RON,
400 RON?
around 400 RON, just for us per month, going out and enjoying
That's-
ourselves in our spare times. So
That's pretty inexpensive. Now, do you eat most of your food here in the house? And,
we do eat most of our meals in the house during the week.
what about your grocery bills? What is
Well,
your
that's a little
grocery
bit
per
different.
month?
Our grocery bills can range between about 1,500 RON to 2,000 RON a month.
Okay,
You know,
that's feeding 3 of you.
That's for all 3 of us.
That's pretty reasonable.
And I'd say not all of it gets eaten. There's quite a lot of waste with that as well. So our daughter doesn't eat everything that we stick in front of her.
Kids don't do that. No.
No.
Do you eat a lot of vegetables, fruits,
Oh, we
meats?
eat a lot of vegetables because obviously there's a lot of fresh vegetables in Romania, and they're very cheap. Very cheap. I mean, I think you can get a kilogram of tomatoes for about 5-6 RON at the moment.
That's pretty good pricing. As far as I would imagine you drink a beer now and then.
I do every now and then. I've cut back since I've been living here. You know, not as much.
When you go to a local pub, what would a pint cost you?
A pint here would roughly cost the average about 8 RON a pint.
Okay, so less than $2.
Yeah, it definitely less than $2 is cheap, very cheap. If you can find a bar in the market where they sell the fruit and veg, where there's always one in there, you're talking 2 RON 50 for a pint. So,
I saw before we came, I looked at one of your little videos, and you went into a village pub,
Village
a
pub,
little grocery store. Is that what it cost there? Like $2.50?
that was $2.50 for a pint of beer.
Okay. That was a kind of an interesting little rustic pub. It's like, I don't know if it was a grocery market or a pub, but you said it was a bar, but it was.
It's a bar that sells stuff. You know,
Okay.
if you need it, they might have it.
You get to give us information as a homeowner, not only as a renter.
Yeah.
So, with the home that you bought in this another building, is there any kind of a monthly maintenance fee, and do you have taxes on your home?
Yeah, each year we have to pay tax on each property you own. Roughly about 200 RON a year
And the tax?
on the tax. So even if you rent your property to somebody, you'd be paying the tax on it, not that person. Like, because I know in the UK, the person renting it pays it. Here, the owner pays it always. It's in your name. So once a year, you just pay it. It averages out about 200 RON each year.
200. That's pretty. It's pretty low,
It's
actually.
pretty low. And again, the maintenance is for the building, and that ranges from like 100 to 200 RON a month.
Okay.
And that's the cleaning, the sewage of the building.
Yeah, we find from our experience that it's better if you're buying in a common building to have those types of fees. Otherwise, we've seen a lot of buildings in different former communist countries, I should say, where they've really have fallen apart. Not lack
Yeah.
of maintenance, because there's lack of a maintenance budget, and trying to get the neighbors to kick in can be problematic. So it's
It
best
does,
if you can
does happen.
get into one that's already got the established community budget going. Do you own a car here?
We do own a car as well, yeah. We
And
do.
What's your experience as far as the cost for gas or maintenance or anything dealing with the car? And are
Well,
car prices unusually high or low here?
second-hand cars compared to West Europe are quite high, and high mileage. So I used to work in the car trade in the UK, and I'd say some of the cars are actually double the price, the older cars. So the newer cars, though, are roughly average around the same as Western Europe. So it's a bit weird. Older cars are too expensive, newer cars are the same. So we got a 2014 Passat with mileage, it's about 76,000 miles on it, diesel, and it was roughly about €8,000. So it's
8,000.
a really good price for that.
That seems pretty decent.
And-
Yes.
really
And
good
we
price.
saw diesel was running, I think, 857 or 860.
Yeah,
when-
it's skyrocketed again. It's before, well, a couple of years ago, we were probably just over 5 RON.
Mm.
Now it's up over 8. So
Yeah, so
Wow. It's like the United States.
Yeah, I think every
Yeah,
country is
everything's gone up.
experiencing it right now.
Yeah.
It is what it is, unfortunately.
maintenance, I actually couldn't tell you because we have a family member that does that. Car insurance, that I'm still trying to get my head around the car insurance in this country because the car's insured as well as the person. So if I insure my vehicle, you can drive it. I can just give you my car and you can drive it. I know in the UK you can't do that. Everybody's got to be insured, each person. I think it's going to cost this year probably about 500 to 800 RON for the year.
A little over $100.
That's
Five-
excellent.
five-
It's less than we're paying for ours.
We've been hitting a lot of expenses. Any one-offs or anything that we didn't touch on that you think that you guys are throwing money into every month? What about like internet and cell phone? I just remember we haven't spoken about that.
Cell phone,
TV.
I'm on pay-as-you-go here because it's costing me 30 RON a month,
Okay.
and I've literally got unlimited everything. I
Seems
never run out of anything. Mind you, I don't really call anyone.
Mhm.
I use the internet a lot. My wife is actually on tariff each month and is paying 60 RON a month. So double what I'm
So
paying.
60.
So it's well worth having a pay-as-you-go. You know.
And TV, cable, satellites.
That's about 70 RON for the TV and cable, you know, for everything like that, and the internet. So it's
that's
pretty good.
reasonable.
And the internet is amazing in Romania.
It
We've been
is.
experiencing that.
Yes, it's probably the best I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah, we've been in some sketchy internet situations, and
Yes.
Romania's been a real breath of fresh air.
We had heard it was the best in Europe, and we're
Well, I actually found out
experiencing
why as well. Because if you have a look on the streets and you look up and you see all the cables that run everywhere, they've got all their cables above your head. So when all the new fibre optics and everything came out, they didn't have to put them under the ground, they just strung them above their heads again.
Anything else that you could think of that you'd want to share today?
Kindergarten.
Ah.
So if you've got children, you've got 2 options in Romania, and that's state kindergarten and private. Because there's a lot of private schools and kindergartens in Romania, I mean a lot. We send Callie to a private, and it's costing us 1,400 RON a month
1,400.
for the whole month, and we pay about 20 RON a day for our food as well, I'd say.
And that's for private school. So
That's for the private school. With the state schools, because we've been looking at them, because there's nothing wrong with them, it's getting into them. You need to find a space. If you're not early enough, you're not going to get into one.
Oh, wow.
So, or you might find one which is miles away. So in state, I believe you pay about 10 RON for food a day. 10, 20 RON. So probably around the same, probably about 20 RON. But it's free then, you don't have to actually pay the monthly fee.
That's a good savings.
That is a very good savings.
So,
Especially if you had more than one child.
yes, yeah, absolutely. All in, every month on average. I mean, I know you're gonna have some months a little bit above, a little bit below. What for this lifestyle similar to yours? What are we coming up with on a monthly average outflow for your bills and your lifestyle?
You've got to average it out with the bills because they change a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and obviously the fuel and that. Let's call it
7,000.
7,000 RON, and we live a nice life here.
Well, Andrew, thank you for
Yes, thank you so
letting
much.
Julie and I
Well,
come.
I'm glad you came round and enjoyed our lovely apartment.
And let your wife know that we appreciated her letting us come as well.
I will
Yes.
do, don't you worry.
Everybody, thank you for joining us today. And as a reminder, Julie and I, we're traveling the world with our 2 dogs. We're trying to see what it's like to live in other countries, other places. And we're trying to share our experiences and our costs with you. And we also do the adventure and tourist things as well. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a like. And also feel free to check out Andrew's channel. And until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.